Hello everybody and welcome back to another video here on the channel. I know I have not been uploading and I do apologize about that because the past couple of weeks for price action has been kind of hard. Yeah, it's been really difficult and I do apologize about that. So I'm going to force the video out today because I want to make a video. I want to do something productive and I've been really peeling away at these charts over the past couple of about a week and a half, and I've been just really motivated to make another video. So, um, so how's it going? I hope it's going well. I'm going well. Had a lot of bad news these past couple days, but it will look up here soon. So, all right. So right now we have these are the ES charts here in front of us. So we are on the 5-minute chart, and I'm just kind of looking and observing and looking over the price action from today, which wasn't necessarily bad. We actually had some pretty good moves here and there to certain specific PD arrays. So I just want to go over. I traded this morning. I did a paper trade because I had to reactivate my Top Step stuff. So not that I ever crashed out or anything. It's just I forgot to renew my thing here. So it should now auto renew. It should continue to do that because I have two different bank accounts and I switch between them when I'm buying stuff. So, anywho, that being said, today was pretty interesting. I woke up this morning kind of late. I usually like to wake up around 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. Central or Eastern time, which is 7 a.m. Central time. And I woke up around here. So woke up right before market open. And my eyes automatically went to the new day opening gap that we had made here. So if I zoom in closely, if I can stop chopping around. So this right here, this giant area. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of adjust my little purple area. This right here was a giant volume imbalance that formed around the 6 p.m. market open yesterday evening. So if you don't have this marked, and if you were bullish, this was your draw on liquidity this morning, which is exactly what we had here. So we tapped into, or we kind of rallied lower. We kind of sold off overnight, and it's just a slow, choppy mess. And then we got to this 15-minute BISI right here, this buy-side imbalance, sell-side inefficiency, which is, we go to the 15-minute chart right here. So I marked that, and we had a shallow run into it before, but then we ran into it again. So I do believe we will eventually fill in that BISI here and run into the new week opening gap that we had created right here, because obviously when you have those really shallow runs, that usually means that there is some business to attend to later on, so keep that in mind. So it ran into that, and I was like, okay, well, since we had this really shallow run, I wanted to go long. Now, not that I ever took a trade, because I did not take a trade at all. So what ended up happening here is I wanted prices to run up to the new day opening gap right here from Tuesday's or yesterday's evening price open. So we ran higher and we made displacement here. So I'm gonna go to the 1-minute chart to be a little bit more accurate with my my analysis here. So we ran down, opened up here. Now usually whenever you mark the first presented fair value gap is something you always want to mark when you're, like, I guess, trying to project where price is likely to go. So we ran into this 1-minute fair value gap that was created here at 9:30. Now you don't want to mark this. This is not the first daily fair value gap. It was this one right here. And once I seen that, I was like, oh, I'm gonna mark it. And sure enough, look at the way the bodies respect it right there. And we rally higher, and then we take out this swing low here and here. Now we run into that 1-minute fair value gap, and once I seen this price action right here, how it tapped into that consequence encroachment of that fair value gap right there, that was bullish. So we ran into that, and I believe I took a long here. I don't know where it was, but I think it was. No, I think it wasn't this. I think we went long here. Once it tapped into this, it went way below our initial entry, because our entry was at the top of this here. Okay. The first presented fair value gap, which I don't have the I'll go back to my actual screenshot when I go back into it, but we ended up taking a long here, and we had our stop right below this 1-minute fair value gap, because I was not very afraid of it going into this, because we had respected that midpoint so well. I knew it was going to run higher, so we adjusted our our take profit then to 5.25 handles. So 5.25 handles, usually around very volatile or very high resistance kind of days, as typically when I will take about just only 5 handles. That is just a silver bullet. And so we rally higher, and there's another silver bullet right here, which I did not take, by the way, but you could have taken that. Look at the way the bodies respect that consequence encroachment of that fair value gap right there. And then we rally higher ever more to the new day opening gap, which is shaded in purple. I'm not going to scroll all the way over there to see it. What was really interesting, though, is look at the Tuesday's first presented fair value gap right here. And I pretty much you've seen it earlier, but look at that. Isn't that just insane price action right there? Now, I know a friend of mine, his name is Diego, by the way. I have no hate against him, obviously. I mean, we're all in this together, but he ended up going long around here in his video, and I knew that was a no-go. Because there was something I seen on the 5-minute chart. Whenever, I think, okay, it was on the NASDAQ. Whenever he was trading on the NASDAQ, there was an inversion fair value gap right here that formed, and it was consolidating in that, and he was trying to go long, and I was like, oh, that's not going to happen. Now, I wondered why he was going long. Let me go to my NASDAQ chart right fast. Let me minimize this right here. So, yeah, this is where I was kind of seeing where he was trading and where he... I need to stop with the ums. Oh, my God. Where he was trying to go long, because he was trying to go long and he thought it was going to rip into these highs here, which I disagreed, because we'd already been up so much in that morning. So if we get rid of all this price action right there, okay, like just kind of on this side, you see how overly extended we are? I knew we were going to run down lower eventually, and sure enough we do. So that's kind of where he made his mistake, because he had a huge gap against him, and it was just brutal to watch, because he had, I think it was 4 days in a row he's been non-profitable, which, I mean, I'm not trying to knock him or anything. I don't really like knocking people out in this market, especially when they're just trying to make a, trying to build a future of themselves, which eventually come if they don't give up. But I digress. But anyway, we trade into this inversion fair value gap right here, and you can see the bodies respect the bottom of it right there. You see that, and you see how we make like these shallow runs into the top midpoint of that, and we rally lower. And even then, right there, you got your there's another fair value gap right there, really tiny one. But look at the way the bodies respect that low. We wick above it, but those bodies tell the story, and sure enough, it just bleeds down into what? The first presented fair value gap. And we eventually tap into, I believe this was the lower quadrant of the 15-minute imbalance, I believe. Right here. Yes, I need to stop with the ums. I'm so sorry. But yeah, right here, we tapped into that quadrant of that lower portion of the fair value gap on the 15-minute time frame. So, not that I say I was going to go that far down with it, but I knew it was going to go to that first presented fair value gap from this morning. So that being said, I was just kind of charting the ES this morning, and I'm going to show you the first, or the final thing I made. I have to go back to my charts here, go to ES in the day summary, and this is the annotations and all the things I had seen in price action this morning, and I seen it all live and delivered, and I really just... I loved it. It was awesome. I love seeing the bodies respect that and just get going down to that fair value gap right there. So you got your inversion fair value gap down here around the morning after we initially hit that little shaded green area down here, as you can see. So that's the 15-minute BISI. That's the higher top portion of that 15-minute BISI. And look at the way the bodies respect that. So we just make a super shallow run, and then we made that huge displacement higher, which indicated we were going to run to eventually my terminus, which was the new day opening gap. We traded into that inversion fair value gap right there, rally higher, and I think that green line was buy side liquidity, so we ended up tapping into that, but I knew it was going to go beyond that. I forgot to delete that line when I was charting and like doing all these annotations. I forgot to delete it, so just ignore it. It doesn't really mean anything, because this was my initial draw of liquidity, was that new day opening gap. So I'm going to start out by saying this. The price barely taps into the 15-minute BISI. This is bullish, and yes, it is. If it was very bearish, it would be going down deep into that fair value gap, and it would not respect it at all. And so price goes on, and we end up developing that 9:30 open here, and then we developed the first presented fair value gap from this morning. Now this is where I took a long here, so I think I ended up going long in this candle. This was the 10:30 or 10 a.m. open candle here, and this is when Jay Powell was giving out his testimony kind of thing, which ended up wicking me out of the market. Which happened, it happened so fast I didn't even know where that wick came from. I was like just sitting there, like this wick just appears out of nowhere, and it's like my trade was still open and it was still going up, but it just happened so quickly. The trade didn't even know like what it wanted to do, and it was like, oh, okay, we stopped out. Yeah, that was really random, but I really took that trade just because it traded into that first presented fair value gap, and my stop was a little too tight. And I was like, okay, well, once I get into that first presented fair value gap, I was going to put my stop loss below this that 5-minute BISI right here. And as you can see, some more annotations here. If bullish, we want to see the fair value gap's higher quadrant respected, as seen here, for example. So you can see how the bodies respect that that top higher quadrant level of this 5-minute BISI. That is bullish. Okay, that is bullish. Even though we have that wick, the wicks can do this. That's permissible price action, as Michael would say. But the bodies respect that, and we rally higher. That green candle should have been the confirmation to that. And so we rally higher, and we consolidate in this inversion fair value gap right here, which if this was a bearish fair value gap going lower, it would have respected the higher portion of that. But we kept wicking above it, and we kept closing and opening candles within that top, and I just knew that it was going to rally higher. And so we rally higher and higher, and you had your fair value gap. This is your silver bullet from this morning because it happened around, I believe this was at 10:30. This was a huge, like, strange thing that ended up happening. I was watching it, and it was like kind of like this candle, but like the last second it just ends up rallying super high like crazy, and it was just like, wow. I didn't really want to get to that new day open gap. So as you can see right here, another annotation, this inversion fair value gap was confirmed when price traded into the very top portion of it, as you can see. And we opened it, and we just, yeah, okay. And so there's another annotation right here I forgot to read. This 1-minute fair value gap was our best case entry. Our stop loss would have been under the 5-minute BISI there. So and that's kind of where my stop loss was. I think, actually looking back at it, because I did take a paper trade, and there was just a small, like, 5-handle paper trade. I think we ended up, after it ended up wicking into that, I put my stop loss right below this quadrant here, because it seemed that the bodies were respecting it. So it could have wicked in there again, but it just, I had confidence that it wasn't going to. So anyway, we rally after this fair value gap, silver bullet, and as you can see, our terminus was the new day opening gap, because there was no other PD array above that I was really expecting. We had the big 1 hour imbalance, which I will actually show that off. I think this is on my top step one. Let's see. Top step chart. I got charts all over the place. But yeah, it's this big thing here on the 1 hour chart. Trying to make sure I can. So right here, that giant imbalance right here, and you can see the consequence encroachment is in fact respected here and all that. And even still, I mean, look at that price action. They're just running along the midpoint there. So we could have went up there, but it was just, we had that big volume imbalance right there that I wanted price to reach for eventually. So anyway, that's pretty much the overall day today I had. I mean, it wasn't really much. I traded the AM session only because I had to work. And so this is the overall like paragraph that I write. God, I gotta stop with the ums. Okay. Today is a day before CPI, so a tape will be a bit challenging, but still possible to frame trades on. Our entry was at the first presented fair value gap. Price trades lower into the 5-minute BISI in the 1-minute fair value gap from earlier in the morning session. Look how the bodies respect the higher quadrant of the 5-minute BISI, as noted here. Okay. And look how the wick runs for the consequence encroachment of the 1-minute fair value, which is right here. This is bullish price action, but in a challenging time. And this was a bit challenging because these candles right here, like this, like just this range of like inward kind of opening close within the same range of candles, that is the high resistance, and it's not really a good trade to frame anything on. Like no good entries at all. You wait for some sort of displacement kind of like this right here, and then wait for the initial thing here. So you want to place your stop below that, 5-minute BISI here. So let's say for example you were trading and you wanted your stop to be there. I think that's a good spot, because if you were really bullish, you never want to actually see price go below that 5-minute BISI. So that's why I was God, the ums. That's why I'm getting more better with my stops and stuff. That's just something I'm trying to work on. But overall, that's price for today. I didn't really have much to kind of present, because I didn't trade the whole day. I didn't trade the PM session, obviously, because I was at work, and so I'm trying to keep this video under 20 minutes. It's just kind of ridiculous putting it at 15 minutes. But I think as I make more videos and as time goes on, I will get much better at timing things and saying things a little bit more efficient and effectively, like to where I'm not sitting there constantly repeating myself and saying ums and you knows and all this. I'm trying to work on that as well. And I think this is a good time, a good opportunity to work on my vocabulary and stop with the filler words in between specific statements that I make. So that being said, see, I was about to say there, but I'm not going to. So this is price action for today. As you can see, bullish price action. We had some nice runs into fair value gaps, and I just love. This right here is just so awesome. Just how we respect that, and even like the other thing that I'm trying to show you. Let's see right here. How we run back into that first presented fair value gap from this morning right here. So if I zoom in, like how price trades into that. Gosh, that is just awesome. I mean, look at this. That is not random. And it's just so crazy how that's the first presented fair value gap after the 9:30 open. It's crazy. I mean, you got to give Michael credit for this kind of stuff. So it's amazing that he had spent so many years and developed certain languages around this for us to understand. And it's just something you got to give the man credit for. But anyway, tomorrow is CPI day, so we're probably not going to be trading the PM session unless we're doing the silver bullet, which I'm probably going to look for a silver bullet tomorrow. And I'll probably try and live trade that. I'm going to record if I feel like it, because I usually hate distractions when I'm trading. Not really a good thing. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and hope all of you look forward to seeing more videos. I'm going to try and upload as many as I can, as much as I want. And I'm going to try and limit the ums and the uhs and the you knows, like those filler words between sentences. It irritates me. God, I just did it. Okay. All right. So anyway, tomorrow CPI, I'll probably live trade, not like live streaming, but I will probably record myself getting into a silver bullet and kind of reading price and documenting what price is going to do. So that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. And I hope you all look forward to, I don't know why I'm saying I hope you do. I don't know why I'm saying that, but I hope to see you in the next one. Peace out.